Hey y'all, it's me, Marquita, also known as the Spiritual Alchemist, here with another reading for you all today. Today is a pick a card. We have three piles for you to choose from. And the topic that I wanted to dive into is what would be most beneficial for you to release at this time. Um, we are in the pre shadow period of retrograde, Mercury retrograde right now, and retrograde is a headache for a lot of people, just to be honest, but it's really designed to bring our attention to things that it's time for us to let go of because they're no longer serving us. So I kind of want to dive into those things, and we may do a couple of releases at the end if you would like to participate in that. So I will see you at your pile. Okay, y'all. So first we have pile one with the chrysocolla or chrysocolla, however you pronounce it, and the medicine woman tarot. Then we have pile two with this rainbow ore and the Afro Brazilian tarot. And we have pile three with the tiger's eye and the Rider Waite tarot. So feel free to pause the video if you need to. Take some time and choose your pile, and I will see you at your pile. Okay, pile one. Those of you who chose the chrysocolla crystal and the medicine woman tarot, this is your reading. I already shuffled once, but I'm going to go ahead and shuffle one more time. And we'll just take a look at what is going on in your world and what it would be most beneficial for you to release at this time. Okay. Sometimes when cards come out sideways, I like to leave them sideways. So I'm gonna leave it that way because I feel like, well, I'll explain why in a minute. Let's get your other cards. What would be most beneficial for you to release at this time? Let's see a few more. Okay. All right, pile one. I feel like this is a clear indication that what you need to release is isolation, isolating yourself from others, and allow your heart to guide you, but also allow it to show. I feel like you are probably a very sensitive, caring person, and I'm sure that that has been a challenge throughout much of your life because sometimes when we are very sensitive people tend to take advantage of you or hurt you. My great grandmother used to say, when you wear your heart on your sleeve, you'll be hurt a lot, essentially. And that's what I feel from looking at this reading. But I feel like what this retrograde is encouraging you to do is to release that hermit mode, to release the belief that you need to hold yourself back. So now I'll explain why I'm saying that. So with the Six of Bowls, as you can see, this is the one that came out sideways. And so I feel like the sideways cards are sometimes the most pertinent information at that time. So I don't know if you guys can see. Hopefully you can. There's not a glare. This person, see how the heart space is indicated? I feel like this is you. You hold a lot of things in your heart, and then you tend to keep your heart, your tenderness, your compassion, your loving nature. You tend to keep that from others. Then we have the Apprentice of Arrows. This feels like you're someone who's very caring, but also in a focused way. It's like you have the tendency to be selective with where you expose your heart, if that makes sense. Like, you probably have a very close knit group of friends or very few friends, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. I think that that is the best way to go, but that's just my personal opinion. But with guide here and the exemplar bowls, like you have all of this is heart space energy. Yes. So basically, I feel like this is indicative that you've been in hermit mode long enough. It's time to get out there and allow yourself to be seen. Allow your loving nature to be shared. Like, share yourself with this world. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Here we have bounty in reverse. But in this particular deck, reversals are about energy that's emerging for you. It's not, I know some people read reversals as opposite energies, but with this deck, that's not the case. It's energy that is clearly within your field, but you may not be accessing it yet, but you're definitely on the way to. The bounty card is like the Empress in traditional tarot. And she's someone that has everything at her disposal. So whether you're male or female, you have everything at your disposal. You deserve it all. Let me cover this up so you can see the bounty card. She has a baby, so that's giving birth, giving rise to new ideas and potentially new passions for you specifically, since the primary card, the dominant energy here, is heart focused. I feel like this is about you discovering and revealing a new passion that you have to the world and allowing that passion to bring you pleasure and ecstasy. This is the Lover's card. So it could be about a choice, the choice to actually share yourself and to share your kindness and your giving nature with the world. And also to allow yourself to receive, because the energy of giving and receiving is really the same frequency. And there can't be a balance without both being present. So also keep in mind that being compassionate and loving and giving does not mean that that's all that you're supposed to be doing. You should be receiving as well, which also goes back to this bounty card. That is a card of receiving. And then we also have the Harvest Lodge of Stones. This is about being aware of your gifts and allowing them to guide you in a sense. Stones in this deck are about resources. They're about material resources. This is about allowing those material resources to actually come into your energy. Let's see what else we can pull. And we're also going to pull some oracle cards and see how they can help guide us in this reading. We have the Ace of Bowls. Once again, lots of bowls. You may also be someone who has a tendency to be kind of emotionally inhibited, even though you're really, really sensitive. That's okay. Don't allow anything from your past, anyone who told you that you were overly sensitive, or you're too sensitive, or you cry too much, or whatever the case may be. Excuse me. Don't let those voices rule you, because your sensitivity is not a hindrance. It's not a burden. It's not a negative thing at all. Your sensitivity is a gift. It's part of what you came to infuse into the energy of this world. We need more sensitivity. So, as kind of a synopsis of this portion of the reading, I would say that Spirit is encouraging you to allow this retrograde to help you release some of the old beliefs that you've had about what it means to be a heart-focused person, or to be led by or guided by your heart. That's exactly where we're headed. That's exactly the energy that this world needs. More heart-centered guidance, more heart-centered focus, versus being more logical or more head-focused, if that makes sense. And not to say that you're illogical. You're not. You just tend to be intuitive and heart-centered first, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, let's get you a Priestess of Light card. I've already shuffled these as well, but I'll do one on camera so y'all know. Okay, Spirit, which Priestess of Light? Okay, we have courage, strength, fierceness, and family. So you may be a Leo. I know Leos tend to be very loving and generous with who they are, but they are also fiercely protective. This is about having that balance. Earlier when we were looking at all these bowls, I felt like you may also be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I don't know why that slipped my mind, but anyway. And you may not be. Either way, it's perfectly fine. But once again, this card is speaking to having that balance between fierceness and softness. Okay, there we go. Telepathy, transmission, perception, and communication. It's interesting that communication is on that card, because my throat got really dry all of a sudden and I started coughing, as I'm sure you all heard. So there could be some things you want to say. There's nothing wrong with speaking from the heart either, and allowing, let me see how to phrase this. Sometimes people who are very sensitive inhibit their truth. They hold their truth back because they're concerned about the feelings of others, because they are very feeling focused people. But you don't have to be. It's not your responsibility to hold your truth back because you're too busy allowing someone else's truth or someone else's potential feelings to override your truth, if that makes any sense. I'm going to give you an example. I'm a storyteller. I always got a story. So the more you watch my readings, you'll see I'm always telling a story. But anyway, a lot of people find it hard to believe now because I am very vocal about what I believe. But when I was younger, I really didn't talk to people. And I never shared what I really thought or how I really felt about anything, because I was always so concerned that I would hurt someone else's feelings And I didn't want to do that. It was like everything in me wanted to make sure that everyone was okay, even at my own expense. And so I really didn't talk. It did help me get into journaling, which then helped me to organize my thoughts in a way. But that's a story for another time. The point being, when I was doing that, when I was inhibiting myself and not expressing my own truth, I was misinterpreted a lot because I was just misinterpreted a lot. And so eventually I got to the point where I was more tired of being misinterpreted than I was concerned about hurting other people's feelings. And then what I also told myself, what I tell my friends now, what I tell any potential clients is just put it out there. We can fix it later. And so that's what I encourage you to do. Don't feel like you have to hold back your own truth, whether it's an emotional truth, it's something you're passionate about, something you believe strongly in, because you're afraid of someone else's reaction. So I don't know how I got there from this. Oh, because of communication. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Also, with this telepathy card, it could be, if you have been in the habit of doing what I just described, then you may also be very telepathic, and you may have a limited, you may feel like the use of words is not necessary all the time. So you may be limiting your verbal communication because you're telepathic, just to to make it plain. And also, with all of these bowls, I do feel like you are an intuitive individual. That is part of that heart-centered type of focus. Um, and I would still encourage you, even with the gift of being telepathic, it's also important to still speak your truth, because not everybody is telepathic. So they're not going to necessarily interpret things or understand things to the degree that you do, because it's a gift that you carry. It may not be a gift that they carry. All right. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I was rambling. Spirit just said they'll get it. So I'm going to let that be my truth. Okay, let's get you an angels and ancestors card. See who wants to speak to you. Okay, we got two cards. First, we have Guardian Angel. You are not alone. That's just a fact right there. And what you can also do with this particular information is to know that you can ask your guardian angel for help in expressing yourself. And then we have Summer, bask in joy and light. I feel like this one is kind of echoing the first message regarding ecstasy, and also allowing yourself to give and receive pleasure. Allow yourself to receive all the goodness and kindness and love and compassion that you give so freely to others. You're not exempt from receiving good. All right, let's get you a surrender card. And then we can do a release. Okay, we have surrender to prayer. Give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe. and answers and support will arrive. This makes perfect sense. You got a guardian angel, you got prayer. Even this first card could very well be in the state of prayer. And I believe that everything is a prayer. Your thoughts are prayers, your desires are prayers. And prayers are for you. Prayers are not for the creator, for source, because source already knows what you need, what you want. Prayers are a reminder that we give ourselves, that come from our higher selves, so that we're fully aware of what's available to us. The fact that you have a desire for it means it's already there. So, if you would like to, you can repeat after me. Let me just tune in to spirit, and then I'll do a release statement for you, and then that's it. So let me just tune in. Okay. So feel free to repeat after me or not. It's up to you. I release, uncreate, and destroy the inclination to put the needs of others above my own, and to inhibit my own voice for my perceived response from others. Take a deep breath. And release. And that's what I have for you, Pile 1. I hope this was helpful. And I will see you next time. Bye. All right, Pile 2. Those of you who chose this rainbow ore crystal, I hope the colors are showing for you, because this crystal is just beautiful. And the Afro-Brazilian Tarot, this is your reading. So let's see what spirit and this retrograde are saying would most benefit you to release. All right. I don't read reversals with this particular deck, because that is how this deck operates. So just so you know. Okay. Ooh. A lot of stuff flipped over, and we gonna keep all of it. How about that? Okay. Move these back so you can see them better. Okay. So this is interesting. I feel like overall Spirit is encouraging you to release I'm gonna just put it out there. It feels like Spirit is asking you to release some of the harshness that you have taken on as a form of self protection. Um, that's how this feels. It feels like there have been periods of disappointment, or maybe you were offered things that weren't what they appeared to be, and that caused confusion. And it's interesting to me that these four cards all came out. So you have the Ace of this and the King of this. Then you have the Ace of Swords and the King of Swords. And that's a big leap. It's like that's a big leap. But it's also, it feels like maybe you've been feeling inclined to return to basics in a way, because the this is the same disc and this is the same sword. So this is the foundation of the wealth and the stability and the certainty and the material gain that the king of this has. This is the same sword, the sword of clarity, the sword of truth, but it can also be a sword that cuts. It can be words that hurt. Um, it can be like a cut and dry harshness in your communication that comes out at times, but I don't feel like it's intentional. I think it's just the way that you have felt you needed to be in order to protect yourself in certain situations. And the reason I say that is because we also have the Three of Chalices here. Let me let you see that. And we have the Star. And so this combination feels like an encouragement to celebrate how far you've come. Celebrate the fact that you no longer are in this energy of suspended animation. You're no longer in this energy of feeling like you have to guard yourself or shield yourself from any potential harm or the trickery of others or ill will of others that may have come your way in the past. You're no longer in this energy of confusion. So allow yourself to celebrate, allow yourself to heal and to bask in the goodness that is evident in your life at this time. So ultimately, I feel like this combination is encouraging you to let go of the past, let go of past hurts. I don't know if you may have been having old memories resurface, because sometimes that happens during retrograde. A lot of old shit starts coming up. We may think about people that hurt us or said something crazy to us like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or when we were children, and start playing in their minds, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that. But no, you can let go of that. It's done, it's dead. You're free from it. So just allow yourself to release, allow the cleansing waters to soothe you and to carry all that stuff away. I feel like baths and showers could be very therapeutic for you at this time. You may be someone who takes spiritual baths. and, you know, who has an awareness of how to make one for yourself. Or Spirit may be encouraging you to take a spiritual bath, and maybe pay more attention to your spiritual hygiene, because this very much feels like past energy. This feels like where you are now. But let's see what Priestess of Light card comes out for you. Of course, if anything else comes up, then I will speak to that as well. Spirit is also letting you know you're not stuck, you're not trapped. Even if these old thoughts and feelings are resurfacing, it's not necessarily an indication that you're still in that place. It could be your higher self letting you know to take inventory of how far you've come and to celebrate that. You don't have to beat yourself up about it or feel like, oh, I'm stuck. I thought I was done with that. You are done with it. Sometimes life will give us a mirror. It will give us a mirror by allowing us to see something from the past. So what I mean by that is, you can have old stuff coming up so that it cues you to actually look at how far you've come. Not as like oh, you really haven't done that much work type situation. It's not that. I hope I'm expressing this right. I don't know. And sometimes I do these readings and I'm like, am I saying this right? So y'all let me know in the comments. Okay. So we have precognition coming out for you. Psychic ability and future vision. That's interesting. That could very well be part of this, the sort of clarity that came out. But also, I feel like allowing yourself to know that the past is gone and you have evolved, and something about you and the water. I feel like this precognition is an emerging gift that Spirit wants to reveal to you. You already have it. I don't know if you've really been in the energy of it. It doesn't feel like you've been fully involved in it yet. This feels more like an emerging gift. So you've probably been having more dreams, maybe some visions, or just knowing that comes to you. Like if somebody lost their keys or something, you automatically know where they are. Something like that. And so Spirit is saying, don't dismiss those small indicators that you're receiving. Take inventory of those as well, because this is about opening you up to a new level of awareness. That's what I'm feeling with that precognition. Let's see if there's another priestess that wants to come out for you. Touching earth, planting something new. I literally just talked about Spirit revealing this new gift to you. So that could be it, but it could also be the emergence of a new idea. You do have two aces here, the Ace of this and the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords specifically could be new ideas, but also the Ace of this could be seeds. You could literally be someone who enjoys gardening and growing things and engaging in that process, which is very healthy and healing. But it could also be the formation of new ideas, new ways of being that will potentially sustain you going forward, laying a new cornerstone. So let's see which angel ancestor card comes out for you. That King of Swords just keeps blowing. Those two kings keep blowing. I feel like that is very indicative of your current energy. Alright, let's see which ancestor and angel want to speak. Alright, we have the Earth Guardian. Stay rooted and grounded. You may be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You may not be, that's fine. You may have earth in your chart. But it's interesting that this card mentions staying grounded because once again, laying a cornerstone, like I just said, that is the setting for a foundation, a new foundation for you specifically. So I'm very curious what you got going on in your life. Definitely good things coming. Good things here, rather. So just allowing yourself to know that the past does not have a hold on you. None of that old stuff matters. It's done. It's complete. Maybe take an inventory of where you are now. When you're in the shower, might be beneficial. I do that sometimes. Then we have surrender to trust. Trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. This is speaking to these two kings all day. They are literally confidence embodied. So, yeah, just trust that you know what you know. Trust that you're on the right path for you. Trust that you are clear. You know what to do. Yeah. You know who you are. You know what you're doing. I feel like this whole reading is just like reiterating that you already know and just letting you know that the past doesn't have a stronghold on you. So, if you would like to, those of you who would like to do a release, I will tune in and see what Spirit has us say to release. And you can repeat after me. I release, uncreate, and destroy the belief, the thoughts, and the feelings that lead me to believe that the past has a strong hold over my future. Take a deep breath. And release. All right, Pile 2, that's what I have for you today. I will see you in the next reading. Take care. All right, Pile 3. Those of you who chose the Tiger's Eye crystal and the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, this is your reading regarding what retrograde and Spirit are encouraging you to release at this time. So let's see. take all those. Okay. Let's get a few more. So this first row, I feel like Spirit is saying to release yourself. This to me feels like a lot of physical isolation. Feels like you've been recovering from something, potentially a heartbreak with this Three of Swords in reverse. This indicates heart healing that you've been engaged in. So you could be emerging from a cocoon per se, where you have been recovering from heartache, from heartbreak. And also this belief that you need to hold on to everything that you have, everything that you, I'm hearing everything that you have left, everything that remains. So I'm getting the impression that this for you is very much about a relationship. A relationship that is already over, you know it's over, but those feelings have still been lingering for you, which is understandable, you know, so don't feel like you have to rush your process, because recovering from a relationship is a process of grief, and we all have our own ways of doing that. I feel like what you have been doing is allowing yourself more physical rest, but also spending more time with yourself, evaluating the relationship in a way, evaluating the impact that relationship had on you, and trying to figure out how to move forward in a way that is healthy and beneficial for you, but feeling like it took something from you and you need to hold tightly to what you have left. That's what I'm feeling with these first 4 cards. And also, as part of that process, you may be in this Queen of Swords energy, which is basically like shielding yourself, feeling like you have to have your sword at the ready just in case somebody tries to approach you in a way. Basically, just you feeling like you have to guard yourself. You have to protect yourself from another potential heartbreak at this time. You could also be very sharp with your words right now, or just very curt, very no nonsense in your communication, very nonchalant as well, because this feels like a little bit of detachment, which makes sense because you're kind of clinging to yourself right now. So that's what this feels like. It feels like the release of a relationship, the release of, yeah. Let's just see what else Spirit has, because we have the Sun here. The Sun is definitely a card of joy. And look at that. We got the 6 of Cups. It is in reverse, though. That's okay. Don't be scared of that. keep those together and keep these together. Okay, this is good. So this looks like you are optimistic, even though you feel like you have to cling to yourself and hold on to what still remains for you at this time. This does look like you're feeling optimistic. You definitely are aware that there is joy available to you, there's fulfillment available to you, but also I feel like this Six of Cups in reverse is about you kind of releasing the fairy tale aspect of a relationship. I hope that makes sense. It's like it could just be you releasing the inclination to revisit old thoughts and feelings about the relationship as well. Then we have the Queen of Cups and the Six of Swords coming out together. I think that's great. It's showing that you're moving into a calmer state of being. You're calming those thoughts down. And that makes perfect sense following the Six of Cups in reverse, because I felt like you were releasing not the possibilities of joy in a relationship, but releasing the fairy tale aspect of it and maybe taking a more practical approach going forward. And when I say the fairy tale aspect of it, what I mean is like, you know how fairy tales always have like a knight in shining armor who has to go through all of these trials in order to kiss the passive princess. Whether she's passive because she's asleep, she's passive because she's locked away, she's passive because whatever. But there's always a passivity present in the princess. And there's a lot of activity, a lot of active forward movement from the prince who is desiring her. I feel like with this, you're recognizing that you don't have to be passive in your pursuit for joy. There's no one who needs to save you from anything because you're already complete. That's what this feels like. The sun is indicative of like completion and joy and fulfillment all on your own. And then also we have the Ten of Cups, which is also a completion, a fulfillment. There is a joy, there's abundance, there is all of your heart's desires that are present and available to you. And I feel like you releasing the mythology behind relationships and taking a more practical stance by being fulfilled within yourself, finding the peace and calm within yourself, soothing your thoughts, calming your thoughts with these swords, allowing your heart to guide you in doing that by being the Queen of Cups and also the Queen of Swords. She is one of clarity. She has focus and she's very clear about what she wants and she's clear about how she's going to get there. And then we have you, from what I feel, getting there by being more heart focused and allowing your intuition to guide you, which is beautiful. And then we have this Page of Cups energy. This is you embarking in a new direction, like specifically with your love life. Filling your own cup is what I'm hearing very clearly. Filling your own cup. I like the way that feels. And allowing the fulfillment to blossom in your life. So this is beautiful. This overall seems like you're already engaged in the energy of releasing. And it also feels very intentional to me. It feels like this is an active release of you. Active release, not of you, but of this past pain, active release of the thoughts that may have been plaguing you in regard to the ending of this relationship that I see present in this reading. For some of you, it's not a relationship. For some of you, it feels like leaving home. You may have moved away from your family or moved away from a lot of things that you have known for a very long time, and you've had to reevaluate what your life can be now that you're embarking on this new journey. I just felt that. So yeah, for some of you, it's not a relationship. It's literally moving, leaving home, going somewhere new, clinging to what you feel you have left, or actually holding on to what's important, because you have evaluated when you were in this hermit mode. You evaluated what was important to you, and you decided to hold on to what is important. Okay, so let's get a Priestess of Light card for you. You're obviously already actively engaged in releasing what needs to be released. So let's just see what else Spirit would have you do in the midst of that process. Spirit is saying right now, you can carry the memories of the past without carrying the weight of the past. If anybody needed that. All right, let's see which Priestess energy is present for you. Okay, maybe the priestesses don't have anything to add to this. Let's get the ancestors and angels and see. Help you along the way. With ancestors, guardians, and angels. They keep jumping but not out. Which is interesting. I don't know what that's about. Okay, there's one. We have autumn. Release the old and rest. That is so funny because we have literally been talking about releasing this entire time. Let me hold this up so you can see it. This entire time, and rest, which is what you've been doing. So obviously Spirit just wants you to know that you're already on the right track. So just continue doing more of what you've been doing is what I'm feeling. But also what stands out to me about this, in conjunction with this, is that sometimes when things change, we kind of struggle against the change. And I remember one time when I was going through this cycle of release, Spirit said very clearly to me, the trees don't struggle to hold on to their leaves in the fall. And so I feel like this is a message that Spirit is encouraging you to realize, that releasing the old, releasing what doesn't serve you, releasing what is dead and needs to be released, is part of the path to renewal. It's part of your growth and expansion. And it's also autumn right now where I am. It is the fall season currently, so that could be indicative of time if you needed an indicator of how much time may be needed, feel free to take the rest of the fall season. I feel like we're supposed to naturally be attuned to what the earth is doing anyway. So this is literally a time for release, period. It's the fall. It's a time to let go of old stuff. Okay. And we got 2 surrender cards for you. First, we have surrender to play. I love that. And that kind of echoes the message of the sun. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. See that? No, that's rain. That's glare. Okay. And then we have surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So, as part of your process of healing, once again with this Page of Cups, find your passion. Figure out what fills your cup. Even if you have to do it like multiple times a day, just ask, what would make me happy right now? What would I enjoy doing right now? What would be the most delicious thing for me to eat right now? How does my body feel like moving right now? Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, pile 3. Oh, let me do a release. I did a release with the other 2. So let me tune in. See what Spirit would have me to say. Okay, if you would like to repeat after me, you can. I release, uncreate, and destroy the belief that my past sets the precedent for my future. Take a deep breath. And release. All right, pile 3, thank you for spending time with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care.